Staking is not a security, says the SEC, and Ethereum ETFs could hit Wall Street next week. Let's break it down. Hello, everybody. Good morning, you excellent crypto enthusiasts out there. This is D Weekly, where you get your crypto with D Weekly. Please like, subscribe, and strap in for the week's 5 biggest bits of news as per me, as per a person who's looked through hundreds of thousands of crypto headlines at this point. But, anyways, let's get into it. On the regulation radar, SEC surprise guidance removes the security label from many proof of stake staking services. This clears a path for ETH and Sol staking ETFs because really what it means is since those staking rewards aren't a security, some regulatory clarity for all these entities that are trying to help people out. For those of you that solo stake, you don't need to worry about that. It's just for on your taxes, right? In other news, Reuters has reported that Wall Street banks are dusting off these crypto desk playbooks as oversight has clarified. Many moons ago, back in like 2017, 2018, 2019, there were huge crypto desks with data that could be piped in so that institutional traders could get in on the crypto trading as well. It was a big deal. I remember even seeing advertisements for them, and then they just fell off of the face of the planet. Well, they're going to be back. And that's the things that we can expect from how the regulatory environment has changed so starkly this year. And lastly, to round up our regulation radar, the White House has ordered the National Crypto Bitcoin Reserve. We all know that that's old news, but they've put a little bit more hastening to it. They want it to go down. They're really trying to make it a real thing. We'll see, right? Like those kinds of things you see. Like what do people from Missouri say? I'm from Missouri. You got to show me. This is kind of one of those instances, right? Let's just see. It might happen. It might not. Moving on, let's get a little bit of the global post. EU Treasuries run live DLT bond settlement. Now, DLT is an acronym standing for Distributed Ledger Technology. It was a marketable phrase for blockchain back when people were unsure about blockchain, and blockchain was the marketable phrase when people were unsure about cryptocurrency. Well, in the EU, it appears they like the phrase Distributed Ledger Technology. So, this settlement signals that blockchain rails for sovereign debt. So, let me repeat that back. So the EU Treasuries are running live DLT bond settlement, right? And using distributed ledger technology, rails for sovereign debt, right? What's interesting to see how this entire industry develops is how we are getting past the point of a token needing to secure the network. It looks like they're just using this technology and securing the network with, the top layer, which is very interesting. So, hats off to growth, I guess. This is a little bit of old news, but just a reminder that Coinbase left into the S&P 500. And, this is a big moment because it cements crypto as, a main street hot item. S&P 500, Standard & Poor 500. So good on crypto, man. It's just awesome to have seen how it's just developed over the past, I don't know, let's see, 13 years, right? 2012 to 2025. That's 13. Yeah, so good on crypto. And a bit of tech advancements, a little bit of a tech corner. The World Economic Forum, WEF, right? The regulatory body everyone in crypto loves to hate on, has crowned Chainlink CCIP the go-to interoperability layer for TradeFi. So Chainlink is trying its hardest to be reliable interoperability between all of this crypto goodness. ZKsync launches Previdium, a private chain anchored to Ethereum. This is enterprise DeFi without the bridge risk. Interesting. So, for those of you that don't know what a bridge is one way that you can take your crypto and you bridge it onto another chain, right? You wrap it and then you bridge it so that you can do things on that other chain. But bridges are risky because you're talking about two transactions, one to get it on the bridge, one to get it off the bridge. Right. Well, really, four if you want to go back the other way. And if those contracts aren't locked tight, money leaks. Some bullet points from this article that I thought were interesting is that everything is going to be compliant on-chain finance. So that's pretty awesome to have the real world start to build some compliancy rules around blockchain and the use of the blockchain. And Previdium allows institutions to operate private chains while staying directly connected to Ethereum without third-party bridges. And that's again, to reiterate, that's the big change here. Secured by Ethereum, of course, and a private blockchain is just a necessary thing that everyone knows needs to happen. Let's get a little bit of the market pulse. Coin steadies at 106K after a tariff wobble. ETH climbs nearly 5% from 2.5K to 2.5K. ETH inflows and whale accumulation. And for our random token, I know I said I would only talk about the majors because those are all that matters. There are people that care about these random tokens. TON leads the alts with a 12% gain on Telegram's $300 million deal with XAI, which is, of course, Twitter, but which is called Twitter AI. Sue me, Elon. And adoption moves, Rex Shares files the first staking enabled ETH and Sol ETF. So, right on the edge of that news that, hey, staking rewards are not going to be considered securities, somebody was ready and primed and said, hey, we're going to offer an ETF, which are going to give you a cut of those staking rewards. Now, to anybody who's in crypto for the shake of a dog's hind leg or a dog's tail, you know that you can just stake on your own and get your staking rewards. However, that might be difficult for most. So most people will use services most likely. So going into the next D Weekly, let's try and keep our eye on some things and try and keep me accountable to the things that we try to keep our eye on, going into the next week, right? So SEC should have a spot ETF deadline. Approval odds are jumping after that staking ruling, though. On June 4th, G7 finance ministers are going to meet. Stablecoin policy is at the top of the agenda. So we're seeing all this moves in the stablecoins and all this regulatory buzz around stablecoins in that industry. So hopefully some clarity will come out. And let's look even further into the CCIP integrations and Providium adoption metrics, right? So Providium could be amazing because it shows that you can have a private chain that's secured by the public chain, which we all know value is going to accrue to the public chain. Let's wrap this up. Regulators blink, chains interoperate, and adoption inches more and more to the massively mainstream, although we know it's already kind of there. But hey, smash that bell. Hey, maybe drop your ETH ETF probability below in the comments. I'll catch you next week. Until then, I'm glad you came here this week to get your crypto with D Weekly.